I would like to start with a question. When you think about transportation, what do you think about? And for this, I want to actually interact with you all. So feel free to either raise your hand or to use the raise hand function, and I shall call on you. But when you think about transportation, what do you think about? Anton, was that a raised hand? Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I'm going to call on you, Anton. What do you think when you think about transportation?
When I think about transportation, the first thing that comes to mind is public transportation, like buses and rail transport.
Yep, 100%. I'm going to call on somebody else. Diane, what do you think about when you think about transportation?
The first thing that came on my mind was BART,
Yes,
and the se-
100%.
and the second is the car.
Yep, totally. These are all of the traditional forms of transportation: buses, cars, BART, etc. Something that you may not have thought of, however, is this. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so that you all can see what I'm about to show you. This is an air taxi. And this is a part of this concept of advanced air mobility, hence the name of my speech. It really sort of is something of the future. And for those of you who remember this show, it's kind of like something out of the Jetsons. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We're going to come back to me. And today I'm going to tell you about what an air taxi is, about some of the applications of an air taxi, and then about some of the challenges that come with air taxis. Another word to describe air taxi is eVTOL. This is what an air taxi is. It is an electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. It is in the name what it does. It is electric and it takes off and lands vertically. The fact that it takes off and lands vertically is what makes it different from a plane. And the fact that it is electric is what makes it different from a helicopter. Being electric is also better for our environment because it takes up less carbon dioxide. It uses less carbon dioxide. Along with this, air taxis are autonomous. They fly by themselves. They do not need an operator. Think about Waymo. Just like that, air taxis are pilotless vehicles. So to summarize, air taxis are electric, they take off and land vertically, and they are autonomous. When thinking about some of the applications, the first application is the application that me and my university are working on. Because air taxis are not yet here, we have been tasked with creating a theoretical infrastructure for these vehicles. This infrastructure would, when air taxis do become real, it would connect 4 campuses. My home campus, UC Santa Cruz, UC Merced, UC Davis, and UC Berkeley. When air taxis are really in the air, they would be able to transfer and travel along the 4 campuses with ease. So that's the first application, to go from point A to point B. The second application is for emergency response. And this is the most important application. We have all been in the situation where we're driving, listening to music, chilling, and then you hear honk honk, honk honk, honk honk, and you hear sirens behind you, and it's the ambulance trying to get through. Oftentimes, these ambulances get stuck. With an air taxi for emergency response, it can go up vertically, get past that traffic, get to where it needs to be, and it can quite literally save lives. This is how important air taxis truly are. The third application of air taxis is for cargo. I'm sure we've all been on a plane before, and there might be a delay. Sometimes this delay is because there is a faulty part on the plane. Maybe it can get delivered, but sometimes it can't be delivered, and you have to literally get off the plane, go through the entire process, and board a brand new plane. With air taxis for cargo, they can get that part to the plane a lot quicker and make mine and yours travel experience significantly better. Looking towards some of the challenges of air taxis, the first challenge is really the most important challenge. If you look at the airspace, what do you see? You see planes, you see helicopters. Nowadays, you see drones in the air. All of these aircrafts share one airspace. And it is so important, it is crucial that when we think about air taxis, that we integrate them into the airspace in a safe manner. An example of where airspaces have overlapped was last year during the Los Angeles fires. You guys may have heard about this story. There was a plane that was coming to deliver water, and somebody was flying a drone where they shouldn't have been flying. The plane and the drone collided. The water was not able to get delivered. The aircraft was damaged, and lives were lost because of this incident. This is how important it is to have an airspace that is integrated safely. We must integrate and certify these air taxis correctly. It is a complex issue, and it is really the main reason why air taxis are not in the air right now. The second challenge is efficiency. While air taxis are electric, while they are quieter than helicopters, they are still less efficient. They say that one tank of fuel on a helicopter is about 20 times, it'll last 20 times the time that one charge of an air taxi will last. So it's significantly less efficient. However, I am truly confident that these challenges will be solved in the near future. Currently, we are doing controlled tests with these air taxis, and we are going from point B to point C in a controlled environment. In Dubai, they are doing extensive testing. They are planning to have a full-scale operational network by the end of 2026. So it goes to show where we could be. And I have a question for you all. You don't have to actually answer this time, but think about it in your head. When air taxis are here, where is going to be your first trip? I think I know where mine will be. If all of the stars align, if everything goes according to plan, in 5 to 10 years, when air taxis are really in the air, I will be coming to pick up my distinguished Toastmaster certificate in an air taxi. Thank you, and back to you, Rachel.